So how do you deal with, since these guys are embarking on starting companies of their own, how do you deal with some of the famous drama that happened at Twitter between co-founders, between early employees, and you know, when you're sort of, everyone sees you as like Switzerland and these things.
Yeah, I tried to be. I was adamant that we don't tie ourselves to any government, especially the U.S. government, because I didn't want people thinking we were just a tool for you to spread democracy for the United States. I was very adamant about that.
But in terms of it internally,
I just tied it to our brand, and I said, look, we want a good brand. We want to remain neutral. We've said publicly that we think freedom of speech should be a basic human right, and if it looks like we're working for someone secretly, then we can't be trusted, and if we can't be trusted, everything falls apart. So we have to stand behind our word. And that's not what you asked me about. You asked me about drama. It's not always this crazy. When billions of dollars get involved, things get really wacky. I didn't realize that. I was in a board meeting, and I was wondering why everyone was acting so strange suddenly. And the years flew by, we were working on it, and all of a sudden it was 3 years in, and it felt like a week, and everyone was behaving so strangely, and then I realized that a lot of money was at stake, and that was what was causing them to behave nowhere near in line with what was good for the people who use the service, or the people who worked on the service. The things that were being said just weren't matching up with any of the things that I were thinking was important.
Like, should sell the company, or those things.
Say everybody, but it's just some of the stuff that was said. I was like, this is totally incongruent with anything good. Sometimes there's drama. There's not always drama. Sometimes you just get along really well with your founders and your board, and everything's great. In this case, there was a lot of switching around, and my main thing was just I really liked the guys that I started the company with, and I was more concerned with preserving their own dignity and their own careers and how they were being treated. But I also happen to think that a founder should stay the CEO of the company, and I thought it was the board's job to help where a founder was weak, not fire the founder because they're weak in a couple areas. A lot of times boards can be really helpful. My board at Jelly is very helpful, or they can just they're a hammer and everything's a nail, and they're not going to get in there sometimes and make your product better, or design something for you. So they'll just fire your CEO to do something.
To maybe have a better chance at making a ton of money, or?
I don't know about that. But yeah, some board members think their main responsibility is fiduciary responsibility to their shareholders. They do have that. It's other people's money that they're investing. That's true, but I think to do that best is really just to help the company the best that you can. And I'm lucky with the Jelly board. Josh Ellman from Greylock and Bijan Sabet from Spark Capital are both people who have just been there and done that.
And who were early at Twitter as well, right?
Yeah, well, Josh Ellman worked at Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn as a product manager, and he's just wonderful with actual, feet on the ground advice. We asked him for a lot of help, and he even tells us, you don't ask me enough for help. And I'm like, what are you talking about?
You're like our go-to guy.
Every couple of weeks, he's like, yeah, my other companies ask me every day. Bijan was an early investor in Twitter, and he's sort of big picture wiser, So it's just, it's so great when you have a really helpful board of directors. Sometimes.
And with jelly.
Position, you get too big too fast, they're swimming in water that's over their head, and, you know, it just gets all messy, but sometimes it's perfect.